Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to the Rapid Reaction WWE SummerSlam 2021. A very, be honest, very disappointing show, and not disappointing from the standpoint of it being bad, because it wasn't bad, but disappointing from the fact that it could have been better. It probably should have been a lot better. I think there were some matches that could have been, you know, that could have been really really good, and it wasn't. They had 10 matches on this show, which already made it, you know, kind of, you know, hard to get. So you knew there were going to be some short matches, and there were some really extremely short matches. Um, yeah, it just didn't feel right. You thought that maybe this could be, one of the great shows of all time, and it just wasn't. So kind of disappointing. But having said that, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna see what's happening. We're also going to see how I did tonight. We're going to see how I did tonight in my prediction. So let's go ahead and let's check it out, shall we? Um, First off, we had on the kickoff show, Big E taking on Baron Corbin. And Baron Corbin, obviously, the other week stole the Money in the Bank, suitcase from Big E, trying to get it. And as many people have said, he can't use it because the contract has Big E's name on it. But it is what it is. It was a good kickoff match. Baron Corbin just continued doing the Lord's work with his character. And I thought I thought it was okay. 2.5 stars. Big E won. Big E won, but he regained his Money in the Bank contract. And so now we'll see what's gonna happen with Big E, and we'll see what Baron Corbin does next as well. Then we started off SummerSlam. SummerSlam started off with the Raw Tag Team Championships, RK Bro versus AJ and Omos. And again, this was kind of short as well, but really, I think really pretty good. I think Omos really didn't take a bump. He was pushed into the thing. I don't know if he fell. He just may have stumbled, and like he does. But yeah, Randy Orton hitting RKO and AJ Styles 1, 2, 3, RK Bro and Riddle were named the new Raw Tag Team Champions. So good on them. I had that one correct, so it's 1-0 for me so far. Next one was Bliss versus Eva Marie, and this I kind of thought there might be some other more jumble stuff. There was. This really just wasn't. This really wasn't it. I'm not really sure what Eva Marie has really learned. Really, when this first character came out with Eva Marie, I was thinking that she would probably be maybe more of a manager type person. Where she would be the manager for like certain people who wanted to be stars. You know, but she just I don't know. I don't know if she's still bad in the ring or what it is. And she did a couple things in this match, but it wasn't good enough. And then she started slapping Lily the doll and things like that. So, but Alexa Bliss won, their DDT. It's just 1 star. I'm not again. There was, and afterwards, Dewdrop says, the loser's Eva Marie, and she puts on Eva Marie's stuff, and she starts acting like her, and so I don't know. They had something. They really had something going with her for for a while. The vignettes, and then even the first night I thought was pretty good, but they really just went down another lane, which I don't know what they were thinking. So it is what it is. Once again I had Alexa Bliss, so I am 2-0. Next was the United States. So I think after this one, we had Mario Lopez. He came out of nowhere. Mario Lopez doing the backstage interviewing. He interviews RK Bro, and and apparently I didn't hear it. But apparently he called the WWE the WWF. Go figure. Yeah, and wait till later we get someone else making another fucking mistake later on. Um, yeah, we now have the United States Championship match between Damian Priest and Cesaro and Sheamus. And this was a nice match. I think it was back and forth, really good stuff between these two, hard hitting. In fact, again, like Sheamus has been doing really good work, and Damian Priest is really good in the ring as well. Um, if it ends up Sheamus locking in a heel hook type of maneuver on Damian Priest, Damian Priest fires up, takes off the mask, and hits him with it, and then goes ahead and gets out of the hold and hits the reckoning for the victory. He becomes the United States champion. That was a really fun match. Um, 3 and a quarter star. That was a really fun match. And I think now hopefully they can they can do some stuff and with Damian Priest using the United States Championship, and hopefully there won't be a Raw rematch tonight on Monday for um, Sheamus, and they'll be able to move on to some other good things. So the SmackDown Tag Title match was next, with Usos versus Ray and Dominic, and this is where my Peacock started to get crazy. And I really think it's the internet. The internet down here, and I don't know if it's because it's in Charlotte, or I don't know if it's because it's AT&T, but for whatever reason, the internet down here sucks. It absolutely positively sucks. That I miss my Chicago Xfinity X5 internet. I never had and sometimes the internet would go out, but you could easily get it back on, and it definitely wouldn't do the thing that it's been doing down here. So it's just ridiculous. Um, but with that said, really, it stopped, and so I don't feel like I could give it what it's owed. I really don't. I really don't think I feel like I can give it what it's owed. Uh, but the Usos won, so again, that's it's. I had that. I also had Damian Priest, so I'm 4-0. Here we are. I am 4-0. Some pretty good SummerSlam matches. Really good. I'm getting very good at this. Very good. Um, so I think here is the spot where I think Tiffany Haddish, for some reason, is now backstage, and she is now interviewing Damian Priest. She calls him national champion. Oh, hilarious! So it was interesting. So that was really funny. So now we had the SmackDown Women's Title, and this is probably gonna be a big. Uh, this might be a big bone of contention with people for tonight. This is where for some people maybe it felt like the pay per view went you know kind of went tumbling off the cliff. Because Bianca Belair, Bianca, where the start there, we began weeks and weeks of probably the last week 10 days we've heard that Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair they were pulled from the road because they for some reason there hasn't been a reason that's been named or whatever, just they're pulled from the road, and then there were rumors that Sasha Banks wasn't going to possibly make it to SummerSlam, and she was on SmackDown last night, and they've even been was promoting it, and so when Sasha and they did the whole thing and they announced the match. So then when Bianca Belair is first introduced, um, Greg Hamilton says that Sasha Banks is not here tonight and is unable to compete. Therefore, the opponent for Bianca Belair is Carmella. And Carmella comes out and she does the things like that. And Bianca gets on the mic. Bianca says something, and then while they're getting ready, Becky Lynch music hits. She comes out. She comes out the crowd, and she's doing her thing and everything like that. She's looking wide eyed, and and everything. And she gets in the ring. She takes out Carmella. She challenges Bianca to a match. Referee makes it official. Ring the bell. They shake hands. She pulls Bianca in for a manhandle slam. 1, 2, 3. Becky Lynch is now the new SmackDown Women's Champion. So here's the problem that people are going to have with this. They're not going to like the fact that Becky Lynch, that this is the way Becky Lynch returned. That's one. And two, they don't like the fact that she kind of squashed Bianca Belair. Because this doesn't look good, and for Bianca Belair that she was kind of made to look like this, made to look kind of weak and things like that. So I'm not gonna go with the race route. I think if you're gonna bring racing into it, you're moron. And yeah, so I mean, it just was what it was. It just I can't give it a rating. I don't know what the hell to rate it. No, and I picked Bianca Belair to win, but in the match against Sasha Banks, and I said that if the match didn't happen, it would be null and void. So the match is still null and void. I'm still 4-0 at this point, and yeah. So let's move on. Move on to another match: Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal. And you want to talk about a short match? This one was a extremely short match. This had to be the second shortest match, next to Alexa Bliss and What's Her Face and Eva Marie. It was a couple moves. It was a Claymore 1, 2, 3. Drew McIntyre beat Jinder Mahal. 1 star. Just you can see why I said that it's disappointing. It is disappointing to see this, and I just and you kind of maybe felt that maybe they were trying to rush and trying to get everything into 3 hours, but it went over 3 hours. It went over 3 hours. It damn near went damn near went almost 6 hours basically. It started here at 8, right, and then I think it didn't get off until about a little bit after 12. Here on the East Coast, so they could have had some more time for some of these things, cut down some of these other things. At some point, I didn't make it to that. I didn't make it to that yet. I'll get to that in a second. But so yes, I believe it's after the SmackDown Women's match. They acknowledged the winners of the gold medal from the Olympics. The first female gold medalist, and then Gable Stevenson. So they acknowledged him. Then they went to Drew McIntyre match. Then came the Raw Women's Championship match. Triple threat: Nikki A.S.H, Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley. So yeah, I mean, this was by the way, I'm 4-1 at this point. I'm 4-1. So it just and it wasn't a lot there. I mean, they did what they did, made it to it, and at the end, it kind of got going at the end. But it was kind of, again, like I said, everybody had a night. Everybody had like a night off or something like that. It just things just didn't flow as it normally would. And, all these guys are good, great performers. It just didn't. Some was almost off. I don't know. It was in the water, and it was the entire building because apparently they get the building. The Wi-Fi had died, so you couldn't use things that they were giving away the food. The toilets were overflowing. There's a bunch of other things that were happening that just wasn't, exciting. It wasn't best going there. So yeah, it was crazy. And I kind of think it affected the wrestlers in the matches. So we had Charlotte Flair. So Charlotte Flair locks in at some point. Charlotte Flair locks in a figure eight on Rhea Ripley, but Nikki A.S.H comes off the top with like a senton squashing her stomach, but then she gets locked into the figure eight and she taps Charlotte Flair, 12-time women's champion. I know people are gonna roll their eyes and do. I'm rolling my eyes a little bit, not at the fact that Charlotte Flair wins again, but I'm rolling my eyes at the fact that, again, and I said this in my prediction video, they went ahead and they took the title off of Charlotte Flair to put it on Nikki Ash, just for 3 weeks later Charlotte Flair to have it again. Like it's. See, like I defend WWE. I defend it a lot because it needs to be defended because we have people out here who are, who just shit on WWE for no reason. They shit on WWE because they want, AEW to surpass it. They want AEW to. I even somebody on Twitter today. I was one thing. He's talking about he wanted Tony Khan to put WWE out of business. Not quote tweeting him. No, Tony Khan ain't putting nobody out of business. One, because WWE is king and is always going to be king, and two, it's this. I say this. I've said this before, and I'll say this again. AEW it's just gonna end up being TNA Impact. TNA Impact. In 5 years, it'll be looking for a place on Destination America to come out or something like that, and TNT will drop it like a bad habit because it's not going to last. That's one reason why I feel bad for CM Punk because he's trying to make something, and maybe he can, maybe him and Bryan Danielson can. I doubt it because I still think he's going to do Tony Khan. He's going to do stupid shit. He's going to allow Mark Quinn to do shooting star presses on the people that miss fully, and he's going to make Marco Stunt want to wrestle giants and things like that. So it's ridiculous. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, it was good. Charlie wins again, 3 stars. Like I said, I defend WWE, but WWE is not perfect. They can do better. Multiple. I think three critiques that I think are legitimate critiques of WWE. One, the rematches after rematches after rematches. I don't understand it. I don't understand why Keith Lee and Karrion Kross wrestled 1 week and then the next week they wrestled again. I don't understand why Damian Priest would win the United States Championship and then the next night on Raw get a rematch for it. I don't understand that. 2, I think I think the rematch is right now the biggest one. I think 2. I think the way they on the promos. I think I think still I think even though right now I think only Roman is really unscripted at this point in time. He says what he wants to say. He's the only one unscripted. Promos are still kind of bad and everything like that. Well, not necessarily bad, but it feels scripted. It doesn't feel kind of natural. I think that's 2, and I think 3 is I really think that they just they are not they don't have a plan. They don't have a plan for certain things. Like they don't plan it out for advance. Things in advance. So we're gonna do this, and then this Monday, this Monday, this Monday. This is gonna lead to this. Again, I think they're doing that with Roman. For the most part. But I think for the most part, I think it's just a week by week thing, and it's like, okay, so we do this, and then the next week, what are we gonna do? Well, let's try this, and I think we need to do more planning out, and I think that's one reason why I do think a break would be good, not only for the wrestlers, but also for creative, because doing that break after WrestleMania, if you take a break after WrestleMania, you can have the creative get together and come up with how you want to work. You want to try to do. You can do certain things. You can. Well, this is what I want to do going into next year's WrestleMania, and then you can do something about 6 months and 3 months or something like that. You can do it like that. Another reason why they need to get rid of half the pay per views, but that's neither here nor there. So yeah, it's just So back to the match. Like I said, it was okay, 3 stars, and I had Charlotte Flair to win. So I am now 5-1. Um, Next is Rollins versus Edge. This was the match of the night. Um, but it just started off kind of slow, but it kind of picked up at the end, get really really good, and Edge beat Rollins. Um, with a kind of a different type of crossface. He had the arm locked in, but he put on a kind of a sleeper thing as almost like that, and that's how Rollins tapped out. So really really good match here from those three, and we'll see if that one continues. I wouldn't mind seeing Edge and Rollins again. Like I said, have it go towards have another match in Extreme Rules and have some type of other type of matchup. I wouldn't be opposed to that. So yeah, especially what happens later on. So we'll talk about that as well. 3 and 3/4 stars. I also had Edge to win, so I am now 6-1. So then we get a skit, which that kind of killed the crowd as well. Miss Morrison comes out and they want to talk about their super drip drip 3000, and Woods is now stolen, and Woods is now pretending to be Scott Hall, and he's super stolen in. So yeah. Then they made a WWE title match between Goldberg and Bobby Lashley. It went longer than I thought it would be. I was expecting maybe like a 5 minute match. This went about maybe 10 to 12 minutes, I think. Um, yeah, but Bobby Lashley, and when they set it up almost as if Bobby Lashley was. So I think something could happen tomorrow night. I think Bobby Lashley could come out. I think Bobby Lashley could come out. I think Goldberg could come out, destroy Bobby Lashley, and Big E could come out and cash in on Bobby Lashley. I think that could happen tomorrow night. We'll wait and see. But yeah, it's it was some good stuff here. Goldberg was trying to be more athletic, but he ended up laying on his head, and Bobby Lashley was almost get ended up laying on his head. Listen, I say this. I know people like Bret Hart, people like Matt Riddle, and a few other people would tell you that maybe Goldberg is dangerous, right? Goldberg is not. He doesn't try to take care of. He doesn't try to take care of the people that he's in the ring with. Listen, I don't think he does it on purpose. He lays his shit in, to try to make it look good. It's a whole lot of he just lays it in. And in this match, he kind of threw Bobby off the top rope, and Bobby landed on his head. That was a type of deal. But I think Goldberg's a legend, and Goldberg has drawn more money than guys like Riddle and other people will ever draw. I don't know about Bret Hart actually. If maybe if he drew more money than Bret. Bret had a longer career and things like that, but you never know. But I think he's still a legend. I think he still needs to be treated with the respect he deserves, whether you think he's safe or not, or whether you like him or not. But it was good. And at some point, Bobby Lashley starts going after the knee of Goldberg, and he works the knee over so bad that the referee has to, Bill Goldberg can't get back up to his feet. Referee has to stop the match on Bill Goldberg. And Bobby Lashley gets a chair from MVP, and he takes Goldberg with the chair. This draws out Son Goldberg, Gage, and he gets on Bobby Lashley, trying to stop him. He pushes it out. Bobby Lashley catches him in the hurt lock. MVP immediately gets in the ring, stops him, and he gets on the mic. He says that he didn't know he was Goldberg, and Goldberg sees that his son's in the ring, and he crawls over to protect him and everything. And he's stunned by then. I'm gonna get you. So that's why I think that tonight there could be a beatdown of every proportion of Bobby Lashley, and we could see Big E cash in. I think on Monday night. So we'll have to wait and see. But Bobby Lashley won again. That's another point for me, and I had it at 1.5 stars. And the Universal Title match was last. Roman Reigns versus John Cena. And I mentioned again in my predictions that Roman has been the best in the game since he's come back. He's been the best performer, and he's just been really good in the ring. But I was worried. I was worried that I was worried that this match could maybe underdeliver, and that because I remember that match back in 2017, I think it was, and it was kind of ugly. That match was kind of ugly as well. I can't remember what my rating I gave it. I think I may have gave it 3, and it was one of the quarters. I think I either gave it 3 and a quarter star or 3 and 3/4 of a star. Because they were putting effort into it, and even though it was ugly, it was entertaining, but it just something felt off with it, or something like that. And the same thing happened tonight. It was slow thing, and this has been a thing with Roman. The matches start off slow, start off methodical, and then they ramp up, and that's what this one tried to. But this one was a little bit different. This one didn't get into that gear as all of his other matches did. It kind of went from first gear to second gear, like second and a half gear. It wasn't able to get to that third gear, and so it was okay. And I think another thing that I didn't like again is that it's he kicked out of 2 regular AAs, including the AA on the table, and then a super AA, and so he did that, and he gave Cena, 3 Superman punches and hit him with a spear and won. And so it's like it's one of those things where if you're going to do all of those like finisher things, you got to make sure that you're killing it. You got to make sure that you're killing it, and they were just okay with it. Roman won, but they were just okay with it. This is the first match Roman's had that on pay per view that hasn't been 4 stars, at least for me. I'm gonna check to see what Scott Keith thinks about this shortly, because he might have his review up right now. If he doesn't have it up now, he'll have it up in the morning by morning time when I wake up. So I want to see what he thinks it is, because he was talking about it last month. He was talking about how Roman was just incredible, and anything he does is over 4 stars. So I'm going to see what he is. So I give it 3.25 stars tonight. So for me, his reign of greatness ends. But while he had the Universal Championship standing over John Cena, that Riff gets Brock Lesnar. Beard, goatee, that kind of ponytail type thing, whatever he had on his head, and a very almost slimmed down Lesnar too. Looked very slim. And Roman he was looking at Paul Heyman like, what's he doing out here? And it was really good. You saw a fear in Roman's eyes, and I like that. I like that because Roman has been very confident. He has been very, he's been very confident. He's been very arrogant. Has shown really no signs of weakness, no signs of backing down necessarily. Um, when it comes to him, but now here we are, lesson, and this is the guy. Even though he won SummerSlam, you know, several years ago, when you think about it, this is his, personal, demons. You know, WrestleMania 31, WrestleMania 34. You know, so it just is what it is. This is a guy that he's had trouble with in the past. So if they are going to do this storyline, this is an interesting storyline. It's also very interesting with the fact of where they're going with this because the next pay per view is Extreme Rules. I thought they were going down the line of Finn Balor. That Finn Balor now was going to get Roman Reigns at Extreme Rules, and maybe we'd see the Demon, Finn Balor, something like that, the Demon King. You know, but if they're gonna go Brock Lesnar, now what they also could be doing is they could be setting up Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns for Saudi Arabia. They could be setting that up because there's been commercials played for Saudi Arabia coming back in October, so they could be setting that up. And maybe what you see is maybe every other week Roman, which when Roman's talking, Brock Lesnar would show up on SmackDown, something like that, and it's so maybe it's that kind of story. Maybe they still would do Finn, you know, at as Finn will. So we'll just have to wait and see. But Brock Lesnar came out and made Roman Reigns back down. So that's very interesting. We'll see where that goes. So yeah, that's SummerSlam in a jiffy. Like I said at the beginning, kind of disappointing. They could, I think Reigns and Cena, Edge and Rollins, the Raw Women's Championship. I think they all could have been like a whole lot better. Like I think these all could have been 4-star matches, and and it wasn't. So, and then another thing was disappointing too because it was shorter, or just because they just didn't, you know, a lot of things happened. Um, so yeah, we'll have to wait and see now. Tomorrow night, tonight, whatever you want to call it, tonight from here, us on the East Coast, we'll see what happens with Raw and which way it goes now. You know, who's gonna, what's happening with Goldberg and Lashley and the United States, champion and new Raw Women's champion, and new Raw Tag Team champion. So we'll check all of that out, and we'll see what is happening. So as for me and my selections, Reign, correct. Lashley, correct. Charlotte Flair, correct. Bianca Belair, null and void. Riddle and Randy Orton, correct. The Usos, correct. Damian Priest, correct. Edge, correct. Jinder Mahal, a bus, and Alexa Bliss, correct. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then Jinder Mahal's 1. So I went 8-1 tonight at SummerSlam. Incredible. I said this before. When I decided that I was going to start doing predictions for the events, or not start not doing it, but I was going to start keeping track, keeping score. I did not know if I was actually going to be good at it. If I was going to, if I was going to be bad at it. But last year's thing, going 88-33 was incredible. And I had one. I think I only had two. Yeah, I only had two losing prediction pay per views last year, and this year I haven't had one at all. I haven't had one losing pay per view. So that's incredible. So here I am. I'm 8-1 for SummerSlam, and doing quick math, that should make me 68. Oh wait a minute, 67. Excuse me here, 67 and 20. 67 and 20. That's really good. It's really good. So yeah, it was fun. And guess what? We got a whole nother night to go. Tomorrow night, NXT Takeover 36. We got 6 matches there, and we also have the seventh, the extra credit. What Gable Stevenson get physical over this weekend. He did not get physical tonight. Let's see if he makes it to NXT. If he gets physical tomorrow night, we will wait and see. And if he doesn't, that's another pick victory right there. So, it's gonna be real interesting to see how I do. But that will be it for the review reaction of SummerSlam 2021. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Let me know how you guys should. You guys feel a little bit how I feel. How this is kind of disappointing. What do you think? Give me your match ratings for all of the matches. What did you think about stuff that went on tonight? And yeah, tomorrow should be tomorrow should probably be much better than tonight when it comes to the pay per view. So as always, y'all, thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy AJTRIP signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there, and I am out.